Hey there, guys. So I was reading on the whole Mr. Beast situation with a bunch of people who were coming out and basically talking about their terrible experiences, and this absolutely shook my core, and I just wanted to break this down because this is technically footage of a tortured man, and that's really scary to think about, that someone could be so crazy. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, after hearing this, nobody should have that much money. I'm sorry, people are just way too insane, people are just way too crazy. Okay, and just knowing that a man was able to do this to another person and isn't behind bars, you're going to understand that this man is technically, did I reach long enough to say it in the video? Um I'll wait a little bit more or whatever, but all I'm going to say is that this man is worse than a terrorist. He is worse than a dictator. He is worse than the other dictators. Okay, actually, no, because they actually got millions of people killed. This man is a dictator in his own way, in his own Gen Z fucking futuristic way. I don't know what generation he's from, but all I know is that Mr. Beast is worse than a terrorist, and I'm going to basically, well, try to prove that in this video, because what he did to this man, it needs to be documented. Okay, this is
That's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back. And I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me.
so basically they put them inside these rooms, and the entire premise of the video was, hey, you have to survive a certain amount of time in there without going crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Can you do it? Can you beat the challenge? Can you rise up and be better? um it's bad. Okay, it gets bad from this point forward. All I'm going to say is viewer discretion is advised for this, because I'm going to be talking about some crazy ass stuff. He's going to be talking about crazy ass stuff. I'm just going to be adding on to it. I think that this definitely needs to be documented, because Mr. Beast is a dictator. I'm sorry. After hearing this story, Mr. Beast is a dictator.
And it didn't go well. I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. The most change I had in my pocket ever. Small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God." Uh, uh, what's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today, and it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's going to be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day.
Basically, they were like, "Hey, man, we're gonna give you some money. You wanna do this, right?" And this is where people. I mean, we saw it with the Diddy. We saw it with the Diddy. Okay, we saw it with a little bit of Doctor Disrespect. I mean, he was kind of targeting it towards transgender person. Um, I mean, like he could be, into whatever. I mean, he talks to underage people though. I mean, that's bad. But basically, this rich man named Mr. Beast abused basically his power. He knows that once he has these millions of dollars, right? And let's say, I mean, we've all seen the human nature, right? When you give somebody power, it shows their true nature, right? This is the one thing that we all need to tell ourselves before we become rich. Do not let that money change you, because literally it gets so bad to the fucking point that like people will do weird stuff with their money. We all saw it with the Diddy. We all saw it with I can't think of anybody else. Jeffrey Epstein. What was the other dude? The guy who literally was in uh Advanced Warfare. Kevin Spacey. This dude. I remember this dude. Dude, this guy, he's another rich dude. Guess what? He was into diddling kids. Okay, he was into doing some weird stuff, right? I'm telling you, no matter what, there is always going to be some rich person that is similar to this, that is similar to the Diddy, that is similar to EDP, that is similar to Dr. Disrespect. No matter what, there are always going to be rich people that know that they have the power. This is why I am saying that, look, man, it's okay to have like, millions of dollars. But like if you have an overabundance amount where you can literally do whatever you want with no repercussions, it's tragic. It's crazy, right? And that's why I've been telling myself when I turn rich, I need to make sure to never do anything weird, all right? The only thing that I will ever probably do is try to figure out how to evade taxes in a very legal way. For legal reasons, that is a joke. But yeah, basically, rich people abuse their power in very weird ways because once you have everything dangling in front of you, guess what? It's over for you, dog. Millions of dollars, all you have to do is just survive this fucking challenge. Like, it's it's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. It just is. You just know what you're doing when you're a rich person. You have that much power and you're able to do something with that. You're able to achieve some weird stuff with that. You're like, hey, man, I'm going to play a mental game on you. I just want to see what happens when I lock someone in a room for many days. Uh huh. Mm hmm. It gets worse. I'm not even like talking about any of the huge details. Trust me, things get crazy.
I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up. On paper, I was like, okay, I can do this, and I was they always cut me out of the videos. They always and I was editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. that I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. And I get there, and at first it's fine. And I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. Uh, it looked good on the visual. Like it looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. I mean, it was in one of the studios. They had to like get like a separate like tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. If there's not like a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking like a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine. Let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has two modes: on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. Like, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little things started to build up. There was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor. And like at first it was fine, and you're playing it up like because it's a video, and it got to a point where like they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? And they said no because it would fuck up the time lapse shots. The time lapse of what? Me sleeping or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me, saying this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off, and I'm vocalizing to people. I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
So basically, as you see right there, yes, the United Nations considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a war crime under the Geneva Convention and the UN Torture Convention. The UN defines torture as any physical, sorry if I just got louder, or mental pain. The UN defines torture as any physical or mental pain. Oh yeah, it literally says right here. The UN defines torture as any physical or mental pain or suffering, and sleep deprivation can cause serious physical and mental harm. It's also prohibited by international law as a cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment of detainees. So basically, you know what that means, right? Mr. Beast is technically a Nazi. Oh, nah. Mr. Beast is technically a dictator because he stuck someone in a room, right? It already seemed like he had something against this guy, by the way, because earlier in this video, he was basically like talking about like basically he wrecked his car, right? And then he fired him along with some other dude, okay, that had like a kid to feed. And it's like, what the heck? This is why, like, rich people should not have this much power because they do really weird things with their money. Unlimited resources. It's crazy. All right, let's go a little bit in depth of what sleep deprivation can do to you. So it says right on here, sleep deprivation is a condition that occurs when you do not get at least 7 hours of quality sleep each night. It can affect your mental and physical health, causing daytime sleepiness, mood shifts, difficulty concentrating, and slower thinking. Sleep deprivation could be caused by sleep disorders, aging, illnesses, or factors. Sleep deprivation may also increase the risk of developing health problems in the long term. So, what does that technically mean? Let's go a little bit further. All right, so sleep deprivation effects. Effects of sleep deprivation include harm to mental and physical health. You basically start to lose your mind, right? Once you are in that state of like, I'm too tired, I just can't, right? And you're already like, slower thinking, you're already doing all this other things or whatever, right? You're in that constant time loop. That technically means that harm to mental and physical health, that technically means that it can mess you up. It can really mess you up. Um, that just means that basically you're going to be losing your sanity at that point. You're going to be understanding that nothing means anything, nothing is truthful, and this and that. And especially imagine how this guy fucking felt, right? When you're feeling that depressed, when you're feeling whatever, because you have these symptoms coming onto you now, because this is technically torture that you're going through because of sleep deprivation. Imagine how he felt having to have a bunch of cameras around him 24/7, 7 days a week, right? Everybody's just talking to him like it's normal, and then they leave. And then he has to do a little challenge, do a little, you know? And then they come back in and you're like, oh, you're fine? You're fine? You're all right? You're right? All right, let's leave again. And then he has to wait another eternity for them to come back. He has to go through the mental anguish knowing that, yeah, he's literally being sleep deprived. It's really messed up. And it goes even further. It says poor performance at school or work. Yeah, of course, poor performance. I understand that. Weight gain, high blood pressure, depression. I already said that. Diabetes, heart disease, slowed reaction times. It basically nerfs you. It puts you in a debuff. That's pretty much it. Like, to break it down to you, it basically slows you down. It messes you up, basically making you as very sluggish. And if you've ever worked sluggish or whatever, right? I work at a warehouse, right? I had to get my sleep under control quick. It's a Friday. I don't care. I'm staying up all night. But just knowing that basically this guy got nerfed, and this can technically be permanent. Okay? Just knowing that he went through sleep deprivation, which is a literal war crime, that's bad. And again, like the way they ended up destroying his car as a funny hoo hoo ha ha, just basically was messing with him, then fired him over, well, I mean, should have been fair compensation, let's be honest. All right, that's not a part of the video. You got to watch the actual like video, because that's whatever. I have to provide the commentary. It's really messed up that this man had to go through a whole ass thing of torture. And Mr. Beast is still putting out videos like, hey, so we got a bunker and we got two people and they love each other. Yeah, let's give them some money and let's see what they do when they put them in there. All right, so we're going to go a little bit deeper into this because I do want to educate, or at least on sleep deprivation, because it is a very common thing apparently in America. Yeah. So basically, people also ask, how does sleep deprivation affect the body, right? And I'm going to go into this, right? And I'm going to basically right here. So for basically later when I have to actually edit this, because this is going to be very crazy. So how does this condition affect the body? Sorry, systems affected. Let's see. What does it actually affect on your body? All right, and here it is going to get absolutely crazy. System affected. Sleep deprivation has negative effects in multiple ways throughout your body. Those can affect the following body systems, organs, and processes: heart and circulatory systems. Sleep deprivation has long-term damaging effects on your heart and circulatory health. People with chronic sleep deprivation are more likely to develop high blood pressure, hypertension, and high cholesterol, hyperlipidemia, and hypertension. Metabolic systems. This is basically your metabolism. Metabolism is when you consume things, you eat, right? How does it affect? People with chronic sleep deprivation are at a much higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, worst type of diabetes, you don't want it. Immune system. Your body's natural defense against infections can't work properly if you aren't getting enough sleep. So basically, your entire immune system gets screwed over. That means that you can't really affect yourself every single year. You're going to get that flu. Okay? That's it. Um Nervous system. Oh, ooh. It's common for people who aren't sleeping enough to have higher pain sensitivity, which means they feel pain more easily. The pain is more intense or both. Oh no, especially what they made him do at the oh no. When it gets to that part, oh no. Brain. Sleep deprivation has very negative effects on how your brain works. While experts don't fully understand sleep's role in brain functions, they do know it's a key part of how people learn and remember. There's also some evidence that sleep deprivation could play a role in the development of Alzheimer's disease. I don't know how to properly say that. I never have. But basically, Alzheimer's disease is when your brain is eating itself. It basically is like, oh, well, we got to get rid of these cells, but we're not going to replace them. Um, Yeah. We're also gonna stop feeding a certain type of like enzyme or something that's like supposed to keep your brain like healthy. So we're just gonna like cut costs on that. The body can still live though, but we're the brain. The body can still live. That's pretty much what it does. It just eats away at itself. It basically eats itself. Okay, so now this man is at a higher risk. Mental health. Sleep deprivation also negatively affects your mental health, making it harder for you to manage and process your emotions. People with sleep deprivation are more likely to feel symptoms of depression and anxiety. Like I said before, depression is really crazy right nowadays. And just seeing basically anxiety like there too, I think that sleep deprivation has definitely affected me. I Oh man. Oh god, just thinking about it now. Conditions that can get worse or happen because of sleep deprivation. Type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, obstructive sleep apnea, vascular disease, stroke, heart attack, depression, anxiety, conditions that involve psychosis. What are the symptoms of sleep deprivation? All right, here we go. Daytime sleepiness, fatigue, irritability, trouble thinking, focusing, and remembering, slow reaction times, and headaches. I've had those. Damn. As the sleep deprivation goes on for longer, the symptoms become more severe. Many or more severe symptoms look like the effect of alcohol intoxication. What? The severe symptoms of sleep deprivation include microsleeps, when a person briefly falls asleep for only seconds before fully waking up again. Uncontrollable eye movements, nystagmus, trouble speaking clearly. Oh, oh no. Oh, I do that all the time. Hand tremors, visual and tactile touch based Oh no. Lock this man up. Lock this man up. Visual and tactile touch based hallucinations. Oh, oh no. So basically what that means is like let's say you're minding your own business, you feel like someone touched your shoulder or you feel like someone is like riding on your shoulder, right? Or whatever. And then you look around, oh, no one's there. That is Oh no. Impaired judgment, impulsive or even reckless behavior. I mean, I've had reckless behavior. Let's be honest here. All right. Um Stages of sleep deprivation. This will be the last one. Total sleep deprivation, which is when you aren't getting any sleep, happens in stages. These stages are this is when you go at least 24 hours without sleeping. In this stage, the effects of sleep deprivation are similar to being under the influence of alcohol to the point where it isn't safe for you to drive. Stage 2. Common symptoms of sleep deprivation intensify. Most people start to experience microsleeps in the stage and have trouble thinking or focusing. That's what was happening to him later on. Trust me, we're going to get there. People on the stage start to show very severe symptoms like hallucinations. They may also struggle to communicate with people around them. That's what was happening. Stage 4, the symptoms of sleep deprivation are in their most extreme. The above symptoms worsen to severe or extreme levels. Hallucinations are common, and you struggle to tell what's real and what isn't. Which, I mean, he didn't get to that point. He definitely was probably like in stage 3. But just knowing that, oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm sympathizing too hard, which is making me now be like, yo, this man needs to be locked up. It's actually making me like really intensely scared. There are rich people out there that literally do really scary things with their money. And you're telling me that this man can just get away with it? All right, it doesn't get worse. It gets worse. It gets worse throughout this video. So yeah, let's go.
So they're giving me melatonin. You know, it's not helping. And then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour. To check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. Uh, and so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note for the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director from Jimmy when I'm receiving some cash. Uh, he said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
So imagine you're literally being locked up, right? You're dealing with basically your brain deteriorating, your mental state deteriorating slowly day by day. And then some dude comes in and is like, "Hey man, so can you say this video? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can you say like this in the video because money, I know you like money, don't you? So I'm gonna need you to like sign right here, basically saying that you're going to say this, and if you do, you're gonna get like some more money. Basically, this is just like a part of the challenge, right? If you can't do this, then you're not gonna get this part of the money. All right, so sign right here, please. Like, no, no, that is scary. That is scary.
You know how hard it was to do a take of that and pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. Just something about like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. I'm a dark comic. I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. So this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. Abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a type file about it. So I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming, so I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, like, hey, it's been a couple days, I'm not doing so hot, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? If we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time-lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time-lapse shots and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we're going to do time-lapse shots, bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You got that whiteboard. Oh, no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, James Warren came in and erased it. Don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there, like we were playing up the joke, it's like, I'm the boy in the cage, whatever. Like, I'll play into a joke, whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke about my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that one of those hide and seek videos again. At the time they were a lot realer. So I got caught, and when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, "All right, you're going to jail. Like your dad." And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss, and that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm sitting like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me want to, I got to get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, You're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is, and you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, "On camera, I don't want to do it." He goes, "Just do it for the thing, like, kid, Like there was an element of, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. That's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, let alone a marathon, let alone have training for it. So I was in a sunlightless,
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, And if I refuse, it's just Oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I start running at 12. Um, I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m.
All right, I got off the treadmill.
Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid.
And here's the thing about that too. Remember how we talked about how basically when you are sleep deprived, when you are going through stuff like that, you are a little bit weaker, and that also means that your neurons are a little bit more sensitive. So let's say us walking and running, right? We got this, right? Okay, cool. We had the right amount of sleep. We're getting the monies, right? We're living and we're jogging. Okay? You're gonna feel a lot of burn, but you're not gonna feel that much burn because, like, let's say if you're just a normal person and like you're feeling the burn, okay, well, you're gonna feel the burn. But imagine being sleep deprived, right? This isn't like a normal jog. Imagine being sleep deprived and you have to run hours after you already did all this stuff or whatever. You're already feeling weaker. The pain is amplified. Just my thoughts going because it's like, just imagine you have to go through the money, but you have to tank your mental, your whatever. It technically is a challenge, yes, but at the same time, this is like Geneva Convention said that this is bad. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is bad. And I think even the US government had to step in or something. I don't know about that one. That's just me throwing that out there. But if I can find it, I can find it. But just knowing that they had this man running and then he finally got off and he felt everything and he's already tired. He's tired. He's just passing out probably. But it's not a good sleep because, well, the lights were on. It's bad. Just imagine like the after day sore. We all worked out. We've all ran for quite a long time, to get our muscles, going at the gym and everything, right? Imagine that pain the next morning. You must have felt stiff. And then you also have, well, I mean, you're going through the pain too of the blisters and everything too. Oh, hell no.
I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well, and like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work. And they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake, well, I don't love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought, it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it.
It's a deranged joke that he basically played on this person. Even if he was aware, or even if he wasn't, this is wrong. This is bad. This is really bad. And you got rich people in America walking around that are crazier than this man. Imagine some of the shady stuff that's happening underground. Imagine yo, Saw is probably actually happening with some rich people. They're like, yo, let's abduct these random people and then have them play in like a reality game show in like the dark web. And basically, if they, you know, if they, you know, if they don't want to do it, we just kill them or we have them kill each other. Like, people are really weird, okay? And just to know that this dictator, Mr. Beast, was literally torturing a man, has footage of a tortured man. That's really messed up.
And Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his like, he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's like, oh stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's not, he's just I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, you know, your mental health's the most important thing. You know, just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is. I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got. He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And I haven't been back on a beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then it still got in some hot water, and I knew it would.
So they didn't even give him the full amount. They didn't even compensate this man for literally getting terroristically tortured.
And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now.
And the worst thing about all of this is that this man is still walking free. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep on saying it and saying it alone. A person like this should not have that much money doing weird stuff like that. I'm sorry. They need to be nerfed. They're doing crazy things, all right? And even if you don't agree with that, well, just at least accept the fact that people do weird things. And seeing this, I can't even imagine the type of psychological torture that this man put him through. Imagine being alone in a room. I mean, periodically, you know, you get some people walking in or whatever talking about some like money and cameras. Imagine you're just in a room stuck with your thoughts. That's it. You're just stuck with your thoughts. God, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like, just trying to understand that, like, just imagine all this stuff happened to you. And then they're just like, oh, they're expecting you to finish it. They're just expecting you to finish it. Yeah, you better finish it for the money. He went through all of that basically for nothing. He didn't even get the fame that he needed. He didn't even get to basically have the entire video to himself, right? Because, you know, that would have been a whole video for him. That would have been great for him. He didn't have any of that. They gave him 100 and something thousand. And that was it. Which, by the way, he had to pay most of in taxes. Golly.
I just had to get that off there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a Mr. Beast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York.
Yeah, this was definitely really messed up. It was I don't know. I just seeing it, just hearing about the story made me feel really uneasy because there are people that just have that much power to do whatever they want. It's messed up. I'm gonna end it here. I just needed to at least help try to spread this because this definitely needs to be documented. People have a lot of power out there, and it's like, imagine you're poor. Someone has everything right in front of you. Man, like I don't even know if I would do that. And like I said before, it's like a crazy little sick game to them. It's messed up. It really is. Just I would say honestly unsubscribe to Mr. Beast. He's not deserving of this fame or whatever. He's playing a good guy and he thinks that he's too rad. He's a dictator in his own way, and I'm going to say that he's just a dictator. He's nothing more. He looks at humans as just playthings, which is really messed up. Really messed up.
Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at Mr. Beast called How to Succeed in Mr. Beast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No Does Not Mean No. Already insane, because it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside Mr. Beast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing